Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have a couple of vintage Zip-A-Flints that I found when I was cleaning up the floor yesterday. I'd been in there in my spare room, kind of my work room, one of the work rooms, working on the Briggs & Stratton air compressor that has gone out on me. I moved all my plants outside, so I went ahead and decided to clean up the room. When I did, I sorted through everything that was down there on the floor, putting all the butane lighters in one box, petrol in another, and then the assorted other items in a different box. When I came across these two Zip-A-Flints, which I didn't recall seeing before. The oldest one has the Zippo logo that looks identical to the one used on the base stamp during the mid 50s to either late 70s to early 80s. I think late 70s maybe. The cursive style Zippo logo. And not only that, but this Zip-A-Flint is quite a bit different looking than the others that we had, including the older, bigger one that we discussed last time. These are the examples we used in the last video. I don't think this one is particularly old. It is the current Zippo logo that is printed down here at the bottom, made in USA. And one of the ones that I found yesterday was identical to it. Very similar, or I think it's actually probably in a little bit better condition, but it was down there on the floor with all that other junk, just like this other one. Now, the really cool one, what I thought was the coolest one that I had, was this long, I think it holds 12. I believe these hold 5. And maybe this one holds 10. I can't remember. Maybe we'll figure that out here in a minute. But we had discussed all these before. That, even though it has the Zip-A-Flint logo printed out here on this long model, it also has the newer Zippo logo type. I hadn't really noticed that before. Hadn't really differentiated until I came across this one, sorting through that stuff in the floor, and notice how chunky that is from side to side. Where these others, even the long one, is more narrow along here. This does not have space cut out. Might seem kind of weird to be complaining about them reducing the amount of plastic and that making it cheaper, but it's obviously what was done with these newer versions. Is they had sort of a streamlined design, where this older, I think probably 50s or 60s model, or example, I'm not sure what the word I should say is, version, says Zip-A-Flint in sort of fanciful font there, along with the Zippo logo that accompanied the base stamp from that period of time. So really cool. And this old, what appears to me to be the older one of all of the examples that I have, does not have a notch where it will hold in place like the cheaper Chinese. Well, that one doesn't either. Some of them notch, some of them don't. I don't think any of these are. Maybe the newer Zippos, yeah, those lock in place. But this older one did not. Go ahead and we can locate 5 of these plain Zippo type flints. We'll go ahead and load it up. I've been using those Dunhill blue flints in so many lighters lately, and I assume that those Dunhill blues would fit. Yeah, that's a flint that's already been used or degraded a little bit. Try to find some newer ones here. If you're like me and you work on a lot of lighters, then you're going to end up with a lot of flint. There's no reason not to save the flint that you pull out of any lighter. I see a lot of people saying that about Bic. I got no problem with salvaging whatever you can from whatever you have. There are 5 in there, so this will hold 6. So 6, and then, like I said, I think this other one holds 12. But pretty cool to have this old piece of plastic. I'm not generally, gonna have to be careful with this one. It'll spill them out on me on accident. I'm not generally a plastic fan, but for this old plastic, it's kind of like paper. It's nice and clean and still useful. So when you purchase and go through old lots of cigarette lighters or other old junk that you buy and look to resell or whatever it might be, keep your eye open for these small things. Also keep your eye open for catalogs, different sorts of lighter ephemera. That will give us some information that maybe we don't already have. There's a lot of good information over there on the OTLS Facebook group, the Zippo Addicts group, Vintage Cigarette Lighter Collectors group. But there's new information out there that could be brought to light that others are currently ignorant of. Until next time.